looking to counter concerns that the Republican tax plan will primarily benefit the rich. U.S. President Donald Trump is delivering closing arguments in favor of the tax overhaul that is working its way through Congress. December 13, AP DePaul University's $300 million capital campaign announced Friday, October 3, 2013, will include $100 million set aside in an endowment to provide scholarship aid for high-achieving, lower-income students. Photo, provided by DePaul University. Washington. After running operating deficits for the past 3 years, DePaul University faces another potential financial challenge, the GOP tax bill. Provisions included in the House-passed version could require the school to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars in new taxes on its endowment, and potentially millions more for financing capital improvement projects. It just feels to me that there was a need to pay for a reduction in corporate tax rates, and someone got the idea that this might be a way to do that, said Bob Leonard, DePaul's Vice President of Finance and Administration. But it's just not consistent with what the nation is trying to do with higher education to make it less expensive for students. Most private colleges are struggling right now. Congressional Republicans have not announced details of the final version they tax plan to vote on early next week. And members of the delegation representing some of the schools that could be most affected aren't saying whether they support the proposed changes included in an earlier version they voted for. But since the House passed its bill in November, college students and officials have been sounding the alarm about multiple provisions they argue will make higher education more expensive. Those include, supporters of the legislation said they were seeking lower rates to benefit the most taxpayers, rather than a web of narrow provisions and benefits for specific populations. But University President Michael M.C. Robbie said the school must oppose legislation that would undermine our core missions of education and research and price prospective students and their families out of a post-secondary education. Many students already have been objecting to the tax plan. Between 150 and 200 IU graduate students demonstrated on campus against the changes last month, and have set up stations where students can call lawmakers' offices. More than a dozen tried to deliver a personal message Monday to GOP Rep. Trey Hollingsworth, who represents Bloomington. They occupied his Greenwood office for hours, asking for a meeting with Hollingsworth and a promise from him to oppose the bill. "We tried calling, we tried emailing. We tried tweeting and he is not listening to us," said organizer Tracy Hutchings-Goetz, a PhD candidate in English at University. "Our IU chapter, Campus Action for Democracy, has members risking arrest in at Rep. Trey's Greenwood office, demanding the congressman vote no on a tax bill which takes from ordinary Hoosiers and gives windfalls to multimillionaires like him." https://xff8cn2ft.twitter.com/WHHVNGJQNL. Hutchings-Goetz said graduate school would have been unaffordable if she had been taxed on the approximately $31,000 tuition waiver she received her first year at IU, instead of just on her $15,000 income.